Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the Of Course There's Nuclear Fallout in My Food edition.
What? Of course? Nuclear fallout in my food? No thanks.
Yeah.
What food?
Oh, well, yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay. I was like, is it in my burritos? Is it in my breakfast cereal?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, no.
But we're going to get very specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Way to start off with the fright. Jeez. Oh.
Okay, I am Jill Chacha, and I am with the currently frightened Marissa Riley.
Thank you so much. Currently frightened. Just had an awesome chicken club. And now I'm like, a question I've never asked myself, which is, was there nuclear fallout in my chicken club?
Yeah. After this episode, everyone will be asking how much nuclear fallout is in their food. How great is
Also,
that?
what is nuclear fallout? That's the next question. Obviously, it's bad. It has something to do with radiation or whatever.
That's right. Exactly.
I have a feeling you're going to tell me, though.
We're going to break it down, no pun intended. And we're going to understand it and then just come to terms with what happened and what is happening.
Excellent. I'm ready, I think. Yes.
Okay, well, before we take a bite out of anything,
Yes.
there's a brief update, a very anticipated update.
I am so pumped about this
Okay,
update.
so now I know we've all been waiting for this. Earlier this month, early April,
Yes.
for In Betweeny 030, we celebrated a particular holiday by covering some biblical adjacent stories.
Oh, yes, we did.
One was the resurrection of 40,000-year-old worms, but the other was the air quotes experiment called Deep Time.
Fuck yeah, deep time. Hashtag deep time.
Yeah, so you remember that.
Oh,
is what you're saying.
I could not forget.
Yes. So if y'all haven't had a listen, please do. Scroll down to In Betweeny 030. But here's a quick recap of what surprisingly is not porn. Deep Time.
Very surprisingly.
Very surprisingly.
Nothing
not porn.
pornographic about this. In fact, it's the opposite.
So, 15 people volunteered to be sealed in a cave in the very south of France, in the rural region of Ariège.
Ariège.
Yes. They had no access to natural light, nor any phones or technology to help them distinguish time. The goal, according to the project's creator, do you remember adventurist Christian Klott?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
So he stated that the goal was, by the way, he's not a researcher, everybody.
That's right.
That was one thing.
He's not really anything, right? He's a person.
He's a person,
Okay.
mostly.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, he created this Deep Time project, and the goal was to see how humans function in such a sensory-deprived environment and
Right.
how they cope, basically.
And my guess was it would be bad.
Yeah, please listen to the episode. We go into all possibilities. What could go wrong?
A lot of anger, a lot of confusion. Yeah. But I've been thinking about them a lot. I check it with Jill all the time. And I'm like, what do you think the Deep Time people are doing?
I know.
Have they died yet? Have they eaten each other yet? What's going on?
Their only source of electricity was to be generated by pedaling something like a stationary bike.
Jeez.
And this would help supply artificial light. Temperature was a constant 50 degrees Fahrenheit in the cave. So there were no fluxes to help distinguish night or day, but it was just 50 degrees all the time. And like all caves, it's super humid. It's 100% humidity. Bleh. So.
Humid and cold.
Yeah.
What a weird mixture.
Yes.
So you're wet and cold all the time.
And working out to
And
see
working
light.
out. I remember that. Jesus.
Yeah, you remember that? They were supplied 4 tons of equipment, lots of fucking safety gear, climbing gear, rope, harnesses, helmets, tents to sleep in.
Yeah.
Lots of clothing to keep warm was another thing. Water was to be harvested from the cave itself. And I don't know how they prepared food. I don't know what their meals consisted of. I don't know where they peed. I don't know where they pooped. None of that was on the website.
I wish it was. 'Cause that's like a primary part of human life.
Yeah.
Is eating food and excrement.
Yeah. Just eating and shitting. Where do I do that?
Yeah.
Let me know.
You can work out the pedaling thing, but you can't tell us about the food?
That's right.
I think they ate each other. That's my guess.
At the time, not much was on the website. That's why I couldn't give any of this info. deeptime.fr if you want to check it out now.
Be very careful.
Yeah, make sure you use
when
that.
you use the FR part.
Very important. We do know all of them did stay for the intended 40 days.
Okay.
And my friend, the time has come. They've been released, and they were released on April 22nd.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so today's update is scarce because at the time I wrote these notes and did a little research, they've only been out for 4 days, so it's brand new. But I'm going to give you all the info that I could find on how these folks are doing so far.
Okay.
Okay, so first, they're all alive.
I'm honestly surprised. If they're alive, they're not that alive.
So maybe they're a little dead on the inside. We'll find out.
Yeah.
They all survived, meaning they have heartbeats. Second, Dr. Marissa, I would love to show you a video, and it's from theguardian.com, and it's basically a clip of their release and a little interview, basically.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you would be so kind as to tell us, what you see, their body language, how they're dressed, and if you could help interpret the French by just reading the captions. That's all been done. That's for our beautiful listeners.
Okay. Nothing would thrill me more. I am so fucking excited to see how upset these people are.
Okay, so I'm pulling up the video right now.
Okay.
And just give us a rundown of just interpret the scene, if you will.
I would love to. I would love to. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. All right. So I see the entry, or I guess the exit now of the cave. Big sign. They're all walking out. They're all carrying some shit. They've got coats on. They look okay. Oh, they're cheering?
A little bit of cheers.
A little bit of cheers. I don't know if they're arm in arm. Okay. They've got arms around the shoulders.
Yeah. I would say they're a little tired.
They look a little tired. But they look like they're accomplished.
Yes.
They look excited about this. These two look like a couple on the very far left.
Yep.
These two are
They're
cozied up.
on top of each other. Yeah.
Were any of these people couples?
No, they were all strangers. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps. They look like they were doing it. They look like they were doing it in the cave. Yeah. I'm happy for them. But yeah, everyone looks pretty happy. This guy doesn't look that happy, but I think it's because he's standing next to the couple.
Right. He's like, oh, they're doing it again.
Oh, they're doing it again.
Yeah, they're wearing sunglasses, clearly, because they've been
inside.
Mostly darkness, right, and artificial light. Yeah.
They have helmets. They're carrying their helmets. They're not wearing them anymore.
Right.
Yeah, this is not the group that these people looked like they wanted to do this and they liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so pissed at that.
Here's the thing, it just happened. So we have to just put a pin in that.
Okay. The trauma hasn't set in.
I think we'll get to it.
Okay, all right.
So I'm going to continue the video. I just paused it. But the guy you're going to hear right now, he's Christian Claude. He's the guy who raised €1.5 million. This was his baby, and he wanted to see it manifest, so he raised the money. So this was his idea. He's very much the face of this project. Yeah. Every time I'm looking for updates, he comes up, which is really weird.
Yeah, no one else.
Yeah, it's there's snippets of interviews and we're going to talk about that. But right now, it's Christian is the first. Is like, if you want info, you have to go to him first, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talk about how this is not a study. This is if you listen to the in-betweeny, that this was
a project.
It was just 15 people in a cave. There's no control group. There's no So everyone speaks the same language. They're from the same country. It's not a huge, what do you call it? Like a pool.
It's not a very diverse pool.
Right, exactly.
Everyone does look white, fair-skinned.
Yeah.
A lot of
just like a thing that they did.
Yeah.
More than a study.
I think this was a camping trip. I not even a project. I think they were having some expensive fun in the dark.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so would you please interpret the French for us?
Yes.
And this is regarding what it felt like in the cave.
Yes. Okay.
Ready?
Yes. All right, for us, it was a real surprise because when we realized we had spent 40 days in the cave, in our heads, we had spent between, Emily, how many for you? A woman says 23 days. 23 days, and for the majority of the team, it was around 30 days. So in our heads, we walked into the cave 30 days ago. Okay. And then we're seeing the inside of the cave. So basically, what he said was, we were there for 40 days. For most of us, it felt like 30 days.
Right.
And for one woman, it felt like 23 days.
Right. Yeah. And I wanted to stop there because, time moving slowly, that doesn't seem like a surprise at all.
Yeah.
When you don't have a sense of time, it does seem drawn out. But from what I read, what little info that has been leaked out.
Yeah.
So they were keeping track of time with their sleep cycles.
Oh.
Yeah. So that raises a lot of questions for me. Like, how often did they sleep and for how long? So Emily was the one that he gave the mic to and she said she thought only 23 days passed. And if they're doing it through sleep cycles, I'm like, holy shit, did she only sleep 23 times in 40 days?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that means she would be awake. She only slept once about every 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
I know, exactly.
Okay, so they might be on these kind of weird sleep-deprived highs.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's me in college. That's everyone in college.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know. That kind of raised a few flags. It has to be explained a little bit clearer. This info has to come out. Hopefully it is released. Hopefully they're safe as we speak.
Yeah, mentally safe.
Yeah. So the Guardian did speak to two other people.
Okay.
Marianne, what was her name? Marina Lanson.
Beautiful
Okay,
name.
nailed it. One of 7 women to volunteer. She spoke with The Guardian in this interview. Would you be so kind to read about her experience?
Of course. All right, quote. She did not feel any rush to do anything and wished she could have stayed in the cave a few days longer. She said, but that she was happy to feel the wind and hear bird songs again. She did not plan to look at her smartphone for a few more days, hoping to avoid a too brutal return to life. End quote.
I know. Interesting.
So she liked it in a creepy way.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh my God.
This all has to be unpacked.
What is the thing where someone who's been kidnapped falls for their kidnapper?
Stockholm Syndrome?
Stockholm Syndrome, but maybe they had it for the cave. Like,
right.
I wonder if they went through a period of like when they first went in the cave, they were like, this sucks so fucking much.
Yeah.
And then they just had to love it.
Yes.
To cope.
To get through it. Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's absolutely possible. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they have to, this is what I'm talking about. All this shit needs to be unpacked. And hopefully it's unpacked by like the right people, psychiatrists, therapists,
friends, family, someone who's close to them that they can trust.
Yeah. Humans are creatures of habit and nostalgic, which also may explain not only what she said, but this statistic. A little over half, 2/3, expressed a desire to remain underground a little longer to finish group projects.
Wow.
Yeah. Johann Francois, a math teacher, admitted to having mixed feelings. He kept fit by running in circles for 6 miles at a time.
Wow, okay.
And had, quote, visceral urges to leave.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Visceral urges to leave. That would have been me, and I would have acted on it.
Especially if there's shit in the dark and it's wet and cold. I mean...
I would just be like, I gotta go to a shower. I gotta go home and watch Netflix for 8 hours. I have to waste some time inside, you guys.
I know. So Johann also said that the lack of obligations and no kids was a way for him to live in, quote, the present moment without ever thinking about what will happen in 1 hour, in 2 hours, end quote. So a lot of emotions and reflection of lives need to be unpacked.
I don't even know what to say about that.
So Hopefully the long-term consequences will be honestly reported.
Yes.
I do not know. As far as I know, everything needs to be through Christian, so we'll find out.
Oh my God. I wonder if they're just, I wonder if he, okay, so I watch a lot of TV, so I'm just like, what if he paid them off to say nice things about his project? I'm positive he didn't. But
Right.
what if?
What if?
What if it was a total bust? Like it totally sucked in there and they were all like, I don't know, just hated it. And then he was like, look,
I got
when we get out there, I want a butt, like with the gun in his hand, like I want all smiles.
That's right.
You two pair up, look like you've been fucking. And when they ask you about it, you had a great fucking time and you wanted to stay longer. All right, let's move. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm positive.
You loved shitting in the dark. Say it with me now.
Say it with me all together. We loved shitting in the dark. Oh my God. What if that did happen?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to conserve your energy, right? So there might be a pooping corner. Was there a pooping corner? I want to know.
I want to know too. I think these reporters are asking all the wrong questions.
That's totally wrong.
I think I want to become a reporter just so I can go up to them and be like, where the fuck did you shit? How did you wash yourself? What the fuck? What did you eat? Are you okay?
Yeah, for real. Fucking hell.
Do you want to talk? Do you want to have coffee with someone? Do we need to go have coffee so you can really talk about it off the record?
Right.
What's going on?
Some deep coffee.
Have you cried yet? Like what?
Oh man. Well, I will certainly be keeping an eye on what data is shared and what drama that took place and will take place, I'm sure. And I am so fucking here for it. And if you,
Yes,
dear listener, have anything, hear anything, read anything, please contact us and we'll share it with everyone in another update. So because
Yes.
I can't let this go. I want to know what's up.
this is going to be an ongoing topic we'll revisit. Yeah.
So after the break, speaking of long-term consequences, episode 037, nuclear fallout found in U.S. honey.
What?
It's all right.
No! Sorry, I screamed.
That's okay. It's just the first of many. Stay tuned.
Please do.
Hello, everyone. You may recognize me as Gabby from the History of Everything podcast.
And my name is Brenna, and you don't recognize me from anything yet.
Together, we're two scientists who explore all of the weird little questions and conspiracies of the universe in our new podcast, Mystery of Everything. Everything has an explanation.
We hope.
But that is what we're here to figure out. We will dive into the science behind many popular conspiracy theories, such as vaccines causing autism, flat earth theory, and was the moon landing fake? And if so, why the heck would anyone even do that?
But it's not just conspiracies. There's a lot of cool mysteries that we will attempt to use science to explain, such as near-death experiences, what made the Vikings go berserk, and can I control my co-host with MK Ultra?
Wait, what? Anyway, make sure to check out the Mystery of Everything podcast everywhere where you find your podcasts.
We're the All Creatures Podcast. Each week, Angie and I explore and share amazing details about the many animals we share our world with.
Plus, Chris and I are both PhD scientists and educators. So we do the deep dives in the scientific research and then come back and share what we learn in a fun and casual way. We also speak with other scientists, animal experts, activists, and many other conservation enthusiasts from all over the planet.
So you can find the All Creatures Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms. So when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. And we're back.
We are so back.
We are so back. Let's talk about bombs.
Okay.
A lot of bombs. Okay. Here we go. Beginning in 1945 up until 1992, the U.S. set off more than 1,100 nuclear bombs.
Good job, U.S.
Right. Releasing 27,000 times the atomic yield that devastated Hiroshima.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Here are some highlights. You can find these at the Wikipedia page, List of United States Nuclear Weapons Tests.
What a gem on the internet. Wow.
Yeah. So, boy howdy. The late 1950s were fucking bonkers. Operation Plum Bob in 1957 set off 29 devices, including the largest atmospheric test in the continental United States over Nevada. Put a pin in it.
It just blows my mind how many nuclear bombs have been set off on our fucking soil, like
Oh, yeah.
in our country,
In our country, in the air, over the ocean, in the
over
ocean,
and the thing is, like,
underground.
of course we have stretches of land where no one lives there, but also we really don't.
That's right.
People drive through that shit. There are small towns that matter.
They do.
Every town matters. Every person matters, and it just blows my mind that we've set off that many bombs
Just getting started.
in our own country. There's got to be a better way, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Operation Plum Bob in 1957 was just the start. A year later, in 1958, Operation Hardtack 1 and 2 said, hold my beer, setting off a grand total of 72 bombs in the Pacific and, once again, Nevada. Now, Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind as to read as to why so many fucking bombs were detonated in such a short time?
Of course, I gotta know. All right, quote, the Hardtack series meant to squeeze all possible testing into the time before Eisenhower's test ban started on October 30th, 1958. Original name was Operation Mill Race, end quote.
Yeah.
So they were just trying to get it all in.
That's right.
Oh my God. That's nuts. Also,
Yeah.
like,
You okay?
no, so when they set off, when they set off one of these bombs, it's like the for real bomb, the actual size of what it's going to be if they were to actually use it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. I mean, each bomb, I'll get into it a little later on, but each bomb had a different yield, had a different weight. It really it's just whatever they wanted to test. If they wanted to test a 4,000 kiloton bomb, they could do it. If they wanted to test like a itty bitty baby one, it really was like whatever they wanted to test that day.
I was going to say, and maybe I'm not a scientist, maybe I'm just a fucking idiot, but like, what if we got nuclear bombs that were tiny? Like they only had like a 4-foot radius.
That's called poisoning.
No, but I mean, like, what if that was how we tested it?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then we were like, okay, so now we know that this size makes this much. And then if we want to make
Scale
a
it
for
up.
real one, we'll just scale it up mathematically. We're smart enough to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
And then we just have this one tiny field far, far away from everyone else. And that's where we set off, like,
Yeah,
teeny tiny bombs.
exactly.
Right? Am I crazy for thinking maybe that's the answer? Or maybe just no nuclear shit at all?
No nuclear is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have now,
Yeah.
now we have like computers that can calculate
Oh,
all of this
that's
shit.
better.
Yeah. Back then they didn't have computers to like predict what would happen.
Yeah.
But honestly, these are just guys having a good time, I think. We'll get into that as well. But
I liked my teeny tiny bomb.
that's briefcase bombs. Yeah, that's also a thing. That's like those are just rumors and shit, but yeah.
Yeah.
But should we continue?
We shall.
Right. Okay, so that was Hardtack series. When the Cold War ramped up in the 1960s, during this decade, actually, you know what? Let me rewind a little bit. Eisenhower's ban didn't do a goddamn thing.
I assumed.
So when the Cold War ramped up in the 1960s, during this decade, the tit-for-tat, who has the biggest bomb, toxic masculinity extravaganza, produced 13 operations that detonated about 511 nuclear bombs.
Oh my God, you guys.
In 10 years. Many of them in and around the Nevada test site. Now, for the next 30 years, up until 92, bombs were still going off, though bombs with a much smaller yield, which is what you were asking. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
So we're talking hundreds rather than thousands of kilotons, which, I don't know, is better?
Is it better? Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? So anyway, all of this shit leads us to flowers.
What?
That's right.
What?
So it leads us to a little college in Virginia, the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia. Here, James Cast?
Cast, K-A-S-T-E.
Yeah, James, a geologist, was well aware of what effect many bombs from even way back, even in the 1950s, their effect on food production.
Okay.
So, you see, my friends, when a bomb goes off, it poops out a little radioactive form of the element cesium, a little radioactive buddy named cesium-137.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
all
now-
right. I'm getting nervous.
let's start positive. Like our other little friend Lie. Remember that little? Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit goes a long way for humanity. It can be actually helpful and not harmful.
Okay.
In small amounts, cesium-137 can be used to calibrate radiation detection equipment, which is important, like Geiger counters and stuff.
Yeah.
And help cancer patients with radiation therapy, which is super important.
Ah.
Yeah. And for all you true crime fans out there, cesium-137 helps solve crime and shit.
What?
Yeah, quote, it is used in dating material for assessing the age of sedimentation occurring after 1945.
I'm not going to lie. You're talking me into cesium-137. You're selling it hard.
Now, that was from the cesium-137 wiki, and it basically means if it's detected in what you're testing, that means that the thing was made after 1945.
Got it.
After we, started dropping bombs and shit.
Right.
So, just off the top of my head, what I can think of is a lot of art dealers test for cesium-137 just to uncover fakes, for example.
Because if it has it, that means it likely wasn't.
Yeah.
It was made before 1945 and,
Yeah.
and potentially not
There you
real.
go. There you go. It's amazing stuff, and it leads us to now our uncomfortable news.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, not only is cesium-137 in paint, but it's in our food.
Oh, no.
So, how much, do you ask? Well, let's take a look. Now, that geologist, James, he gave his undergraduate students a task while on spring break. I know, homework.
That's nice.
Bring back local food from their destinations to test for cesium-137.
Oh, that's actually an easy task.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back some food. So one student stayed on the East Coast, specifically Raleigh, North Carolina. And they brought back honey from local producers there.
All right.
Now, Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind as to read the findings of this little assignment as reported by sciencemag.com?
Absolutely. All right. Quote, to cast surprise, it contained cesium levels 100 times higher than the rest of the collected foods. He wondered whether eastern U.S. bees gathering nectar from plants and turning it into honey were concentrating cesium-137 from the bomb tests. End quote.
That's right.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Oh
So,
my God.
with James' spider sense tingling, he and other researchers gathered 122 samples of honey from across the nation.
All right.
Now, 68 of them had concentrations of 0.03 becquerels or higher, and I'll get into that.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And all 68 came from states along the East Coast. And it wasn't evenly distributed among the states. According to the study, 36, more than half, came from Georgia, South Carolina, and our returning champion, Florida.
Fuck yeah, Florida.
That's right. And Florida wouldn't be Florida if it didn't have the highest levels of cesium-137.
I knew it.
That's right. Their honey clocked in at 19.1 becquerels per kilogram, or 2.2 pounds.
That's considerably higher
Yes.
than 0.03 becquerels.
It is. It is, very much so.
Just a little observation.
Okay, so what the fuck is a becquerel?
Tell me.
So for every becquerel, there's one nucleus decaying per second.
Okay.
So in this Florida honey, in every 2 pounds or so, there's 19 nuclei breaking down every second, emitting radiation.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
The phrase emitting radiation.
Yeah.
Got me.
Yeah, so that's when a nucleus breaks open, it's releasing energy, and this happens to be releasing certain types of radiation.
I see. Thank you for breaking that down.
Yeah, and that's happening every second. So
Wow.
yeah. So I think I know what you may be asking. Why this part of the nation, and is this fucking dangerous?
Yes. Also, I eat honey, and I live on the East Coast,
yes,
and I eat that honey every day.
Sure do.
Way nervous.
Okay. Well, let's start with why it's here.
Okay.
Now, when the atomic fallout rose into the air, they hitched a ride on jet streams and weather patterns that naturally moved east. And these states, especially Florida, are rainy. And this is how particles fell back to the earth and ended up in the soil here more than any other location.
That makes sense. I was also so confused because I was like, they set off the bombs in Nevada, which are quite far
Yeah.
to the west.
Yeah.
Why are they here? I thought I was safe.
No, it's that cesium rode that jet stream, man. Just riding that wave.
Riding it to the East
That's
Coast.
right. So now, Dr. Marissa, would you be so kind to read from sciencemag.com as to why plants would be so interested in cesium?
Abso-fucking-lutely. All right, quote, cesium-137 is soluble in water and plants can mistake it for potassium, a vital nutrient that shares similar chemical properties. End quote. They think it's potassium.
Yeah, exactly. It's so close to potassium. So
Wow.
they just suck that shit up. What are the
damn
odds?
it.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I suck that shit up.
That's right.
Ah, fuck.
Bees use the plants and we use the bees, man.
Yeah.
So, that's right.
Circle of radiation.
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's all take a breath, though, and rejoice for a moment because even 19 becquerels won't do much damage.
There we go.
Okay. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has done a lot of tests, and food won't kill you until you reach 1,200 becquerels.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
1,200 versus 19.
Yeah. But it's a shock.
It's a shock. It's
to know.
there.
Yeah.
What if I just ate a ton of honey in a day? Would I die of radiation stuff?
I don't think radiation. You die of other shit, I would think.
You make a good point. I didn't consider that.
So, now, if you're wondering if nuclear fallout in food is a recent discovery and thought surely the U.S. government wouldn't continue to drop bombs in Nevada, knowing jet streams would carry poisonous shit to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Good news. They totally knew from the beginning.
What?
Yes.
You guys, that's my honey.
I know. So, Dr. Marissa, if you would do the honors of reading what the government tracked, for how long, and what they also knew about Florida.
What?
That's right. And this quote is from the Honey Study, if you would be so kind.
I would love to. All right,
There you
quote. This pathway for cesium-137 from soils to plants and into the human diet was predicted decades ago, leading to a government-supportive radionuclide surveillance program that conducted widespread testing of milk in the late 1950s to 1980s. A program called Pasteurized Milk Network, PMN, started in 1957 by the U.S. Public Health Service, with PMN and individual state programs joining the efforts. Over 10,000 measurements of cesium-137 in milk are available. Now, nearly every month between 1960 and 2014, sampling stations in Florida reported the highest cesium-137 concentrations in milk compared with the rest of the United States. End quote.
That's right.
Follow-up question.
Oh, man.
Have they made any connections between the high levels of cesium-137 and the weird fucking shit that happens in Florida?
That is a great question. What came first, the cesium or the Florida man? I don't know.
I don't know.
I do not know, but it's something to really think about.
Definitely. Someone who's not Christian Klatt, get on that.
Oh man, yeah, the government was just like, let them eat cesium-137, man.
No.
So, yeah. Now, the levels are low, like we said, but the decisions made during the 1950s and 60s are still around in 2021. And I think there's a lesson in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, Serling, got it.
Serling, got it. Nailed it.
Thank you for your service. A geologist at the University of Utah said it best, quote, "We need to pay attention to these things," end quote.
Oh. Oh my God. No shit, Thur. Oh, we need to pay attention to these things. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Yeah. And that is the end of episode 037.
Amazing fucking episode.
Yeah.
I
Continue eating, honey.
I will.
But just Florida.
I
Jesus,
just won't eat it in honey. Or I won't eat it in Florida.
Someone keep an eye on Florida, please.
Yeah, as Thur said, we need to pay attention to these things in Florida.
That's right. So, thank you for listening, subscribing, rating, telling your friends, and thank you for just being awesome.
Being awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Stay interesting.
Please do.